Hello and good evening students and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. Let us take a look at the questions for today's daily quiz. Here is our first question. Which of the pairs of defense exercise and countries involved is correctly matched? Ecuador, Maldives, Conquest, Mongolia, Lamite, Sri Lanka and Dust Lake, Uzbekistan. We have taken this question because the joint military exercise of India and Maldives, which is known as Ecuador, it has commenced in a place known as Chaubatia in Uttarakhand. Now, Ecuador means friendship. And this exercise, it takes place every year alternatively, once in India and the next year in Maldives. So if we go back to our question, this is a correct statement. What about this one? Now if you remember the Genghis Khan, the legendary Genghis Khan, he belonged to Mongolia. So yes, conquest is an exercise between India and Mongolia. Lamite, however, is not between India and Sri Lanka. It is between India and Seychelles. Between India and Sri Lanka, we have the Slinex exercises. Dust Lake, yes, it is between India and Uzbekistan. So out of these three are correct and this is incorrect, and our correct answer is option C. The next question is, which of the statements are true regarding the Indo-Nepal relationship? The Indo-Nepal Treaty of Friendship was signed in 1950. Motihari Amlekganj petroleum product pipeline exists between the two countries. India is constructing the Pancheshwar hydropower project in Nepal. We have taken this question because recently the Prime Minister of Nepal, he visited India in order to improve our bilateral ties. He also announced that how India's involvement was very much necessary in improving the green energy prospects of Nepal. So Pancheshwar project, yes, it is a hydropower project over the Mahakali river. So it is a bi-country project where India is assisting Nepal for construction of this power plant. It was first discussed upon in the year 1996. So if we go back to the question, this is a correct statement. This is also correct. Yes, this treaty was signed in the year 1950 and since then there have been many demands for renewal of this treaty. However, it has still not been done. The Motihari Amlekganj petroleum product pipeline, yes, it does exist between India and Nepal, with Motihari on Indian side and Amlekganj in the Nepal side. There have been proposals to further extend this to Chitwan and also to introduce a second pipeline from Siliguri in India to Jhapa in Nepal. So this statement is also correct and our correct answer is option C. The next question is, one future alliance is related to which of the following? Digital public infrastructure, tackling greenhouse gas emissions, development of technologies to deflect asteroids that are on a path to strike Earth, World Health Organization's mission to prioritize One Health approach against antimicrobial resistance. We have taken this question because India yesterday launched a digital public infrastructure partnership in order to enable the countries, especially the low and middle income countries, to learn from India's experiences with regards to harnessing technology to improve governance and for social, economic, digital and sustainable development. Over here, this idea of one future alliance, which is an alliance of these various countries, was also announced. Now this alliance would allow like-minded nations to use technology to improve people's lives. These countries, they will take the current open source customizable stacks that are available and build, customize and innovate for future for themselves and the rest of the world. So if we go back to the question, our correct answer is option A. That is, this alliance is related to digital public infrastructure. The next question is, identify the correct statements. Svalbard is the world's northernmost inhabited land. It is a part of Russia. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, in 1997 was instrumental in operationalizing a new rocket launching range over there. We have taken this question because recently India and Norway, they have agreed to increase their cooperation in the space sector. To commemorate that, the Hindu has published this article on the Svalbard mission. Now, Svalbard mission was a mission where ISRO helped Norway in establishing and operationalizing a new rocket launching range in Svalbard. Now, Svalbard, it is located in Arctic Ocean. It is a part of Norway and it is indeed the northernmost inhabited land in the world. So, if we go back to our question, this is correct and this is correct. However, this is incorrect. It is a part of Norway and not Russia. So, your correct answer over here is option B. Next, we come to a PYQ from the year 2014. Among the following organisms, which one does not belong to the class of other three? Crab, mite, scorpion and spider. Now, amongst these four, one of them belongs to the class of crustacean, while the rest three, they belong to the class of arachnids. So, if you are aware of these terms, you can identify which is a crustacean, which three are arachnids. Apart from that, there is another way to identify the correct answer. Now, you know that spiders, they have 8 legs or 8 limbs. Mites, they also have 8 limbs. Now, amongst crab and scorpion, which one of these have 8 limbs, which one has 6? Now, crabs, they have only 6 limbs, while scorpions, they have 8 limbs. So that is why crabs, which also belong to the crustacean category, they are the odd one out, and your correct answer is option A. Next, we come to the fact of the day, which is about the particularly vulnerable tribal groups of India. Now, PVTGs, they are the most vulnerable amongst the various tribal groups of the country, and they are identified by the government of India as a primitive group of tribals for the convenience of delivering services through special policies and interventions. They were first identified by the Debar Commission. Now, Debar Commission, it established the primitive tribal groups in 1973 as a distinct category of tribal groups that are less advanced. They were eventually renamed as PVTGs by the Indian government in the year 2006. Now, what are the criteria through which they are identified? There are 4 criteria. One is they should have pre-agricultural level of technology. Second, low level of literacy. Third, economic backwardness. And fourth, a declining or stagnant population. Now, for the development of these groups, the Tribal Affairs Ministry, it administers a scheme named as Development of Particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups. The scheme covers all the 75 identified PVTGs in 18 states and the Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The scheme aims at planning their socio-economic development in a comprehensive manner while retaining their cultural and heritage richness by adopting a habitat level developmental approach. Now, under this scheme, financial assistance is provided to these states and union territory based on their proposals for development of tribal people in various sectors like education, housing, land distribution, land development, agricultural development, animal husbandry, construction of link roads, installation of non-conventional sources of energy for lighting purposes, social security, or any other innovative activity that is meant for comprehensive socio-economic development of these groups. Now, please note that these projects, they are taken up under the scheme as a demand-driven projects. So, that means that the demand should come from the states and the union territories. Nothing is being imposed upon them by the center. So, it is not a top-down approach, it is a bottom-up approach of development. So, in the comments, do let us know the names of a few PVTGs that belong to your state. So with that, we come to an end to today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand everything. Do not forget to like the video, share it and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more such content. Thank you very much and have a very good day ahead.